Sports Betting by Dummies. I am your host, Patty Parlays, and with me, as always, the guy of guys coming off a pretty hot gambling weekend, Connor. Connor, welcome in.
Well, thank you. What was so hot about the gambling weekend?
Didn't you hit a huge NHL parlay on Friday?
Yeah, I did. I just didn't want to be the one to say
Yeah, you're welcome.
it.
You're welcome. I got you. I
Uh,
got you, fam. I got you. And then the green blob that you see on our screen, the most handsome member of the group. I said that, not anyone else. That's just my claim. But Diz, welcome in. How's your weekend, buddy?
it was okay. Could have been better. My NFL teaser hit somehow with probably one of the worst boards, one of the worst weekends of all time. The fact that I gained money on the NFL this weekend is, I'm honestly very lucky. Um, we'll dive more into that in the best bets. But, the short answer I should have said is I'm doing okay.
Right on. And I'll be honest, we all made some more money this weekend because we all took that live odds boost at half of the Colts game yesterday, thanks to our boy Connor here. So we got to give him a shout out, give him his due on that.
Well, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Before we get started, I just want to talk about the dailystakes.com. Guys, I can't tell you enough about it. We love the dailystakes.com. Whether you have a ton of time and you're just looking for more insight, more trends, more stats, how the public money is doing, anything like that, or whether you just got done from your job, your games are starting soon, you need to make some quick picks, the dailystakes.com is the place for you. They got all your major sports. They got NBA, they got NHL, they got football, they got hockey, they got it all. And we have a special treat for you, our listeners. When you are checking out, if you use promo code DUMM, DUMM, you get 20% off your first month. And let me tell you, good chance you will make your money back within the first week. So make sure you check out the dailystakes.com promo code DUMM, DUMM. All right, it's Monday. It's Overreaction Monday. And we are starting with a new segment. We are calling it the Coaches That Need to Go segment. And let me tell you, me and Connor have been cooking up something all day long. And Connor, you've been sitting on this joke that you've been having apparently for a while now. I know you have a lot that you need to get off your chest, so we will let you start off with the first ever segment, first ever selection for Coaches That Need to Go.
So, of course, I'm an Eagles fan.
Yep.
So I want to talk about Nick Sirianni. This is the guy that's got to go. So Nick Sirianni took a penalty, giving life to the offense of the Raiders. I do not know any coach that is a big enough moron to accept this penalty. So had he not accepted it, it had been 4th and 4, and the punting unit was already out there for the Raiders, ready to punt this away. And he decides to accept the penalty. And in his press conference, when explaining it, he said 3rd and 15 sounded a lot better than 4th and 4. I'm not sure what kind of moron you have to be in order to think that way. And then being down 10 at half, knowing that everyone already hates you for what you've already done and not accomplished, you decide to onside kick it and give it to them with one of the worst onside kicks I have ever seen. It was horrible. So here's Nick Sirianni right here. You see it? This is Nick Sirianni right here. Terrible. Terrible. Wait. Also, Jalen Hurts.
Oh man, is this a twofer? I mean, it's not a coach that needs to go, but
No. Oh, I've got my own issues with Jalen Hurts. There's a reason he has rushing touchdowns. The dude cannot throw the freaking ball. He should be a running back, not a quarterback. That is my take on Nick Sirianni. He needs to go.
there you go. I love it. Diz, did you have a question?
Yeah. So you guys got me. I might have lost you.
No, we got you. We got you loud and clear. What's up?
Okay. So where were the Raiders at on the field on the 4th and 4? Now, I know the punt team was already out there, but that can be a situation. I'm not trying to defend him. I think that's absolutely the wrong call, but I'm just trying to get more context because I was not watching this game. Was it like they were in 4-down territory or they were in a spot where going for it on 4th and 4 may have been the move?
They were on their own 30 or 40 yard line.
So probably
Okay, so
not.
probably not.
Yeah.
Yikes. And
It was the first quarter.
is that some? Oh, that's not good. Is there
No,
something?
nothing
Is it a
about that.
situation? Is there a situation though where maybe if you decline that penalty, then they take the team out there to go for it to kind of like make them bite their tongue, or is that kind of a still like what the hell are you doing situation?
No, it was a what the hell are you doing situation because they're like I said, their punting unit was already out there expecting him to make the right call. So
and
I
you got to think with an interim head coach, he probably isn't going to go big out swinging like that. And did the Raiders have the lead at that point, or was it?
know the Eagles had the lead, I believe.
Okay.
No, it was tied. It was tied.
Okay. But yeah, no, I thought the same thing you did, Diz, but I think you still, even if they stay out there and go for it on 4th and 4, I think you still have to let it be 4th and 4 and try to get a stop, and then you get the ball right there instead of, giving 3rd and 15 and giving them life.
So to make that worse, though, I forgot to mention this. He goes and blames the defense for giving up a 3rd and 15. Because they got the first down. I didn't mention that. They got the first down by bombing it 40 yards down the field. He blamed the defense for not stopping them. The defense who should not have been on the field at that point.
It's rough. Very rough.
Gonna get fired. I feel like if you play the blame game in the NFL, people just don't tolerate their bullshit. Like, is he gonna get fired?
I could only hope. It's a horrible mix having
I feel like
both Hurts and Sirianni.
I feel like a new coach with a shitty team is gonna get at least 1 year. That was gonna be my defense of Sirianni. Like, at least give him 1 year, and if like, I don't know, at least give him 1 year. But if he's blaming the defense on a call like that, maybe he'll get himself fired. I don't know.
I'm typically willing to give the 1 year for just about every coach, but this is a mistake that even high school head coaches do not make.
Oh gosh, I love it. I love it. And thank you for the use of props. That's really good for the visual aid. Yes, beautiful.
Terrible.
Absolutely
terrible.
love it.
Charles Barkley would tell you it's terrible.
Terrible, just terrible.
Exactly.
All right. So my coach that needs to go is Mark Few. Now, Diz, you know who Mark Few is, Diz?
Yeah, he is the coach of the #1 basketball team in college basketball.
That is correct. And so for those that don't follow basketball, you may not know who Gonzaga is, but they are a contender every single year, perennial powerhouse. I think they lost in the national championship last year. All this is great, grand, wonderful. Mark Few's done a great job coaching basketball, but he needs to be let go because of what he did off the court. So recently, I don't remember when exactly it was, but he got cited for a DUI, driving under the influence of alcohol. He pled guilty. He was going to serve like 4 days in jails, but instead he got like 24 hours community service, whatever. That's whatever it is. It's fine. And he paid like a $1,000 fine, which is like nothing because his contract is like, multi-million dollars. But whatever. It is what it is. The team, this is what the team / Gonzaga whatever decided to suspend him for. They said, all right, you have to sit out the 2 exhibition games. So 2 games that will literally mean absolutely nothing. And then you also have to sit out the season opener against Dixie State. Nobody knows where Dixie State is or even that it is a college team. Oh, and guess what? The first game he gets to come back, it's against #5 Texas. Pardon my French, but that is absolute bullshit. He shouldn't even have a job. He's putting people's lives in danger, including his own, by driving under the influence. He got caught. He got arrested. But yet he's out for 3 games that don't mean jack shit. Okay? He deserves to not have a job in college basketball ever again. Get him out. Mark Few is the coach that needs to go.
I agree with you. DUIs, or I think should be a no tolerance policy. Get him out. But Mark Few is one of the best coaches in college basketball, and I think by Gonzaga only giving him those suspensions shows you how important he is to that team. So if this were to be something about the suspension, it should be the NCAA suspending him, not Gonzaga. So I agree with you. The DUI is heinous, but if the suspension given by Gonzaga, I understand it because he's that important. If the NCAA, if you wanted a true suspension, the NCAA should give it to him, and he should miss more games.
I agree. I agree with that.
Gonzaga's not gonna fire the best coach they're ever gonna have in a time when their basketball team's the best it's ever gonna be. They were one win away from being undefeated national champions last year. And once again, I'm not condoning that DUIs are okay. I think it's horrible. I think it's bullshit. But if you're upset about the suspension, you should be upset at the NCAA, not at Gonzaga.
I agree. The NCAA should step in. The NCAA should do something, but I don't know that they ever do in a situation like this. You know, IU basketball
Can you
players.
blame Gonzaga for suspending him?
Absolutely.
As little as they did?
Absolutely, you can.
I think it's more on the NCAA to suspend him because, of course, Gonzaga is not going to suspend him for number 5 Texas.
I don't know where the NCAA's jurisdiction starts and where it stops. Back when IU basketball players were messing around and like hit each other with their cars and this, that, or the other, you know, it was a similar situation. I didn't have this platform at that time, but I was saying the same thing. Why not suspend him for the rest of the year instead of like 2 games, right? And this was when IU didn't like matter.
We needed them.
It doesn't matter. It's terrible. There needs to be higher accountability. I don't care if it's from Gonzaga. I don't care if it's from the NCAA. There needs to be higher accountability, especially in college basketball. We're talking college athletes that just are starting to become legally able to drink alcohol. And, you know, some of them probably can't even do that yet. And their head coach got in trouble for driving under the influence. What kind of an example does that set for players and college athletes? There needs to be more of an accountability, whether it's across the NCAA basketball or even just Gonzaga. The school itself should have stepped up. And I agree, maybe not the whole season. Maybe he doesn't need to get fired, but there needs to be more there. I think he should have gotten fired. And because he didn't, shows that people care more about wins and losses in school history or trophies over the well-being of anyone in general.
I think you're spot on. I just think the only thing I disagree with is, if anything, and once again, I don't know if the NCAA has this power, but they should have this power because, of course, Gonzaga is not going to suspend him for that number 5 Texas game. So, if anything, it's NCAA should be able to, or if they can't, then maybe Gonzaga should have suspended him more. But I can't blame Gonzaga here if the NCAA isn't going to suspend him. So I totally agree with you. DUIs are not okay, but if the NCAA is able to suspend him, they should be able to. They should have suspended him longer. It shouldn't be something Gonzaga has to do.
I agree, but again, we don't know where the NCAA's jurisdiction like goes and this, that, or the other. But anyway,
it's just like it's. In my opinion, it's almost like if I do something illegal and I like get taken away and am locked up, the company I work for may need me, but it's not up to my company, you know? Like if I'm serving time, which I guess there's bail and a DUI is different, but I don't know. I feel like there's a higher power here. They should be responsible.
Yeah, maybe. But Mark Few needs to go. Diz, who do you think needs to go?
On a lighter note, the Bears stink.
Yep.
Matt Nagy should be gone. He should have been gone a long time ago. And I'm not a Bears fan, but I live with a Bears fan. And the amount of bitching I hear about Matt Nagy, I feel like this is finally my chance to shine. He really, with Trubisky, they had a year. And I hate to bring up the double doink for you Chicago Bears fans, but that was their year. And what Matt Nagy did on offense that year was truly remarkable. The schemes and the plays and some of the trickery that went on, they really fooled defenses, and it was really impressive to watch. And we all know nothing against Mitch, but he's limited as quarterback. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. That year was really impressive. And I think he gave himself a cushion just because of how impressive he was with Trubisky that year. But it's teams learned it, and he has nothing to do. And when he has to run a standard offense, they can't do it, no matter how good their team is. And also something that Matty Ice pointed out, which I wouldn't have thought about. I think in the past 2 years, Bears players have gotten ejected for punching other players 4 times in the past 2 years. We saw one yesterday. I forget who it was, but he literally close-fisted a guy with the face mask on, which, once again, why would you ever punch someone with the helmet on, with the face mask on? I don't know what that's about. But the lack of discipline, they always have way too many penalties, and they're always turning the ball over. I think it's just little things like that can get a coach fired. And I think the Bears' performance in itself, maybe it's not all Nagy's problem, but I think it's time to go. I think it's time to give Justin Fields a new face. And I think this time, halfway through the season, you let Fields go with an interim guy. Maybe it works out well. Maybe you hire the interim guy. But if it doesn't work out, there's no bad blood because the guy was an interim coach. So I'm actually a big fan of firing coaches halfway through the season. I know I just said give Siriani a full year, but Nagy has had a full year.
I was
He's
gonna
had a
say,
full couple of years, and it's a little bit different of a situation. And I think a couple games with an interim coach to see if Fields clicks with them, see if the offense clicks with them. I just think there's kind of there's just a time to move on. Like we've all, but I personally have been in relationships or just times where it's just time to move on. There's no bad blood, but it's just not working out. Get him out.
All right. Also, side note on that, Diz, if you get rid of Nagy now, do you also get rid of the GM? I feel like they're kind of a package deal at this point.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know how that works though. Can you fire both of them at the same time? Is that a thing?
I think so.
Does the owner fire the GM? Does the owner fire the head coach?
I think so.
Okay.
But I mean, we could be wildly wrong on this. But also, on that note too, Diz, Matt Nagy was brought in because he was some offensive guru. He was supposed to be this offensive-minded coach that has trick plays and can put up points. Now he doesn't even call the offensive plays anymore. He had to give that off to someone else. So what does he even do now? Get him out of there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Calling it now. Doug Peterson's going to go to the Bears.
Ooh.
I think Matty Ice would probably break something in my house, so I'm hoping that does not happen.
If what? If Doug Peterson came to Chicago?
Yes, he would be very upset.
Super Bowl winning head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles goes to the Bears, and you'd be upset?
Everyone has a recency bias, Connor. I mean, we're guilty of it as well, but
Big balls, Doug.
It's what have you done for me recently, not what have you done for me 2-3 years ago.
That's an Eagles mentality. That's not a Bears mentality. So I have it in my notes. Do you remember who the Bears were playing for the double doink game by chance?
It was the Eagles.
It was the Eagles.
Okay.
If you wouldn't have laughed and made a big deal about it, I don't think we would have known. But also, Doug Peterson reunited with Big Dick Nick in Chicago. I mean, who says no?
Nick Foles is done.
What? No, Nick Foles isn't done. Come on.
He's the third string quarterback behind the Red Rocket and Justin Fields. Get him out.
I think he's done.
Okay.
I think he's done. It's sad, but
R.I.P. to Big Dick Nick.
I would take him over Jalen Hurts any day of the week.
There you go.
Hurts could be 7th string kicker.
Oh, that's funny. All right, boys. Anything you guys want to add or get off your chest before we wrap up? Can you, or what do we call this segment? I already forget what I got. The coach that needs to go.
Are we doing this on a monthly time frame, or how often are we doing this? I really don't know who else needs to be fired.
That's the thing. We don't know yet. It may be on just a case by case basis. All of a sudden, we have these hot takes or whatever, or it may just be randomly, or maybe every other Monday. I don't know. We haven't decided it yet, but that is to be determined.
Terrible coaches.
Okay.
Terrible coaches. All right. It is Monday night, which means we have Monday Night Football tonight. It is the Saints versus the Seahawks, and of course, That means we have daily fantasy lineups for you. Connor, why don't you go ahead and start us off with your daily fantasy lineup for tonight?
So I'm going to Live or Die by Jameis Winston here. He's going to be my MVP. My MVP. How many people are going to have him because of the weather?
Right? Or just because it's Jimmy Winston. I mean, let's
Yeah.
be honest.
He might do
What?
nothing in the first half, then rain stops, and he just
What is it
Swing.
supposed to rain all night?
So I just heard this weather report. So it's supposed to be like 90% chance of rain until halftime, and then after halftime, like 50% chance of rain. But there's also supposed to be like 18-mile-per-hour winds with like stronger wind gusts randomly. And so I think there might be like, it's not going to be as bad as last night. Last night's Colts 49ers game was ridiculous. I mean, it was like pouring the whole time. There was just no, you could have seen that it was going to be a running heavy game that whole time. This one I'm not so sure about. I'm leaning that way, but the weather is a little bit more unpredictable tonight. We're not sure how heavy the rain or how consistent the rain's going to be. So Connor's got Jimmy Winston at MVP.
Yep. And then I'm going with probably my favorite running back, Kamara,
Yep.
and Collins. So I think it's going to be a heavy ground game because of the rain. And then I might change this. I went with the kicker for Seattle with Myers. Yeah, I might change that one. But for now, that's who I have. And then lastly, I have Gerald Everett. So I wanted to go with tight end because if they are going to pass the ball, it's probably going to be to a shorter pass, slot receiver or tight end.
Yep. Love it. All right, Diz, what do you got for your daily fantasy lineup?
All right, so in real life, well, I guess it's not real life, it's called fantasy football, but in my actual fantasy league, my team, I had like 7 guys on a bye, both leagues I'm in. Somehow I might win both leagues. I need Jameis Winston to get me 3 points.
Oh, man, that would be an
Excuse me.
all-time
Sorry.
epic melt if he didn't get 3 points.
I did not know it was raining. I'm a little nervous about it. Just need 3 points from Jameis. So for that reason, he's not my MVP because I'm relying on him so heavily in my real fantasy league. So I got Kamara as my MVP. I do have Jameis in another flex position. I just need 3 points from the man. I got Tyler Lockett as well. I have the Seattle kicker as well, Myers. Once again, probably shouldn't have done that. Did not know it was going to rain, but hey, I'm going to ride it out. We saw the Colts kicker pop off yesterday. Did not miss a field goal, got some points, so I'm going to trust it. And then Juwan Johnson in my last spot. Scored 2 tuds last week. Never heard of the guy, not going to lie. But he got 2 tuds last week, and he filled the last spot with value. So going Juwan Johnson. Hope he pops.
Gotcha. I always worry when someone random goes off for 2 touchdowns one week, they're going to regress the next week. But, hey, I'm with you. Hopefully it happens. For me, again, I went with this here. I went MVP Alvin Kamara. I think the weather is going to be a factor tonight, and I think Kamara doesn't matter what the weather is. The dude's getting touches, dude's getting yards, and dude's getting touchdowns. And then, kind of like Connor said, I'm going with Alex Collins. Could be a run-heavy game. I don't really trust either quarterback. And so for the first time, I think ever, I don't have a single quarterback in my daily fantasy lineup. But what does that mean on the flip side? That means I have a ton of money left. So I got Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. The fact of the matter is both of these guys are the best athletes and players on the field when they are on offense. And so if the Seahawks want to have a chance tonight, they're going to go through these guys. So I like those guys. And then finally, I also went with Gerald Everett. He is one of the 2 tight ends for Seattle. I think he's the better of the 2 from a receiving perspective. And so hopefully he catches a touchdown and gets some decent yardage there. I'm nervous. I don't have a quarterback. This is uncharted territory for me.
Pushing it up on us, Bob.
The value for Jimmy Winston was just too much for me. I could not drop that amount of cash in this daily fantasy lineup for Jimmy Winston when they might just let Kamara run for 300 yards.
Possible.
All right, let's review our best bets from Friday. I went 2-1, pretty good night for me. Duarte and Sexton both came through for me, and Westbrook missed his triple-double by 1 assist. But that's how it goes sometimes. Diz, how'd your best bets do on Friday?
1-1. Now, I will tell you, I tried to do a same-game parlay right before the Colts game because I totally spaced, and it did not send. I missed it by like 3 seconds. It would have hit, but hey, I didn't get it. I didn't get the money. It is what it is. Mo Alley Cox with the second touchdown of the game.
I know.
What are we doing?
I had it too.
Oh my
man.
gosh, I was down bad. If that would have hit, I would have taken the lead. But hey, it's okay. I hit the teaser somehow. I think I had only 3 games that like I won, and they were all my teaser. So glad I hit the teaser. Positive units, but did not gain enough ground. I'm afraid gonna have to start throwing crazy stuff out, especially on the Thursday, Friday pods.
Okay. Connor, how did you do?
Went 2-2. So the 2 that hit, well, I couldn't believe that I got them at plus value, but the Sharks winning. I don't recall who they played, but they came. Oh, there was the Maple Leafs, and they came out swinging, won 5-3, I believe. No score in the first period. It was 3-2 in the second period. So I guess they were on a break for period 1 and then decided to play. And then I had Colts money line. I honestly just thought the Colts were the better team beforehand and figured Jimmy G would not be able to throw it. He did have one really nice drive through in 70 seconds, drove all the way down the field to score immediately after the Colts did.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Nice. So, in the best bets competition. Now, this is our last week, boys. Our picks that happen on Friday will be the final picks for the month. Now, I am up 13.09 units.
Jeez.
Diz is up 1.84 units. And Connor is up 0.33 units. So we're all positive at this point. Connor is down 1.51 units to Diz for the second place position. So we're in a nail biter. It's going to be interesting to see if Diz or Connor like comes out with like crazy parlays and odds to try to win, or if they just try to maintain and take second place. So
I'm not playing for second, baby. I got my foot on the gas.
Okay. Hey, best of luck to you. All right. Let's get into our best bets of tonight. I've got 3 for you guys, and I got 1 in the NHL. I'm going Panthers minus 2.5 versus the Coyotes. Yes, you heard that right. I said minus 2.5. I lied. So when I was thinking about this initially this morning, I want to say I never saw a line that was 2.5 in the NHL. That's false. I actually think there was a couple times last year when that was the case. But I think this matchup's very one-sided. Panthers are 5-0. Coyotes are 0-4-1. The Coyotes are actually starting their backup goalie, who is 0-2 on the season and has an average goals allowed per game of 8.75. Now, I don't know if that was a typo, but that is quite a lot. And I believe the Panthers did. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Panthers are going with Spencer Knight tonight.
I believe that's correct.
So, I like the Panthers minus 2.5.
That's insane. What's your value there?
Plus 106.
Not good value.
Okay. You better get plus value. Not great value to win by 3 goals, but hey, I'm all for you supporting the Panthers, Bub. We're best team in hockey. At least I can say it right now. So hey, ride it while we're hot.
Well, Connor took them money line at like minus 375 in one of his parlays, and I'm like, oh, that's going to be a minus 2.5, or it has to be.
Yeah, in a parlay, I'll take that.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like I couldn't do it. I had to do the minus 2.5. All right, then I got 2 in the NBA for you boys. First one, I'm going CJ McCollum over 23.5 points. So again, I'm going with a player prop. He has averaged 24.5 points over his last 10 games. He has averaged 27.8 points over his last 5, so he's actually improving. And he has averaged 25.7 points versus the Clippers. So he has hit this line in 7 of his last 10 games. And with Kawhi Leonard being out for the Clippers, Paul George will have to guard Damian Lillard, which means McCollum should feast tonight. Which leads into my final best bet of the night. I'm going Paul George to score 30 plus points. So I'm obviously piggybacking off of kind of what I said at the end of my last best bet. With Kawhi out, that means more opportunities for PG. In his last 10 games without Kawhi Leonard, he has averaged 30.7 points. And against Portland without Kawhi, he has averaged 33 points. So his over-under tonight is actually at 28.5, but I'm taking 30 plus points for additional value.
Nice.
All right, Connor, what do you got for your best bets for tonight?
All right, so I have 4 best bets, each a different sport.
Yeah, that's what I love to see.
Nice. We love that.
Starting with hockey, I have Hurricanes money line over the Maple Leafs. I wanted a closer game that I could get just straight up. They're at minus 112. I have the Bulls versus Raptors. I am taking the over 212.5 at minus 108. I'm taking a boost for tonight's game, Saints to win and over 43.5 at 250. And last one, Braves versus Astros. I have under 8 runs, minus 102.
Nice. Love it. All over the place.
Anything crazy there?
I'm concerned with the over in the Saints game.
Yeah, it was kind of an attachment for it, and it was
Yeah.
odds boost, so I wanted to take one that was going to be plus value.
Yeah, for sure. I actually like the Hurricanes tonight on the ice as well. Braves, Astros, I mean, it's kind of a crapshoot. It's the World Series. You would hope that it's kind of a close game, at least first game. So I can see that one. And then what was your other one? Oh, I worry about the Raptors and the Bulls one, though. I think both teams are 3-0 to the under so far this season. So I'm a little worried about that one, but anything can happen. 212 seems like a really low number for an NBA game.
Yeah.
So, because I in one of my parlays I'm getting ready to go to, I have the Bucks Pacers at over 230. So
I was going to take that one, but I was a little nervous about 230.
Yeah. Again, I have no sense. I just take numbers. I don't. No line scares me away from anything. So, all right, Diz, what do you got for your best bets?
Okay, I have 4, and I got some juiciness. I just want to clarify. I need to rip these off quickly, and then I got to jump off. I'm trying to make first tip of Pacers Bucks tonight. I am going to the game. Super pumped about that. So I guess I'll start there. I'm taking a Patty Performance double. He hit me with the value on this. I'm going to ride it. We got Sabonis 20 plus points and the Pacers to win at plus 280. I think it's good value because I think these are strongly correlated. If Sabonis pops, the Pacers are going to get a dub. That's my first one. Then I got a 2-leg parlay in the NHL, taking the 2 games with over 5.5 lines. I believe it is the Stars versus the Blue Jackets is the first one, and then the Calgary Flames against the New York Rangers, over 5.5. Hammer those. Then I got Connor's favorite type of bet, 2+ touchdowns. DK Metcalf. I know it's rainy, but I got fantastic value, 10-1 odds. That jumps me up in the bets competition if that does hit. And then, of course, sticking to what I know, sticking to my bread and butter, no run second inning tomorrow night in the first World Series game. Lock it up. I got to get off, boys. Hell of a pod. Finish strong for me.
All right, Diz, enjoy the game, sir. All right, Connor. We got 2 Hail Mary parlays of the day. Now, do you want...
I didn't look at the values of them, just so you know.
Okay. But first, I want you to... Which one would you rather hear first? Do you want the multi-sport or do you want the same game parlay?
Let's do the same game.
Okay. So the same game parlay of the day, it is a $25 risk-free bet on DraftKings. Do you want to guess the value? These ones, when you aren't betting just $1, become very difficult to guess what the value is on them.
How many legs?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legs.
5 legs. 25 to win $1,200.
It is 25 to win $3,525.
Yeah, you should have rattled off a dollar.
But hey, if it's risk free, I'm going crazier.
Yeah.
So it's the Seahawks and Saints game tonight. I'm going back to my bread and butter here, and also I made a huge mistake, but we'll get to that in a little bit. First off, Alvin Kamara, first touchdown scorer, seems like a no-brainer, especially with like the way the weather's going. You would think that the first touchdown's going to be Kamara, and it's pretty much. I don't want to say it's a guarantee, but I'm worried it's almost a little too chalky and almost too much makes too much sense.
Mhm.
But that's what I went with there. Gerald Everett, our guy, 15 plus receiving yards. This is very achievable. I believe he has hit this in 3 or 4 games this year that he's played. So I like that. And I'm going Alex Collins anytime touchdown. Like we said in our daily fantasy, we think it could be a run heavy game. I like to see Alex Collins cross that timeline. And then I went Alvin Kamara over 94.5 rushing yards. Seems like quite a bit. His FanDuel set over under was at 91.5. So I went an additional 3 yards to get additional value, but also because of the way the DraftKings does it, they do them in like chunks. So it was like 49.5, 94.5, 115.5. And so I wanted to get more value than 49.5. And if it's anything like last night's game where the weather was terrible, we saw the better running backs just demolishing their over-under. Like Jonathan Taylor and I believe it was Elijah Mitchell. Something. Okay. But both of them, I had overs on them in last night's game. I think their overs were like at 60 or something. They both had over 100 rushing yards. I could see that same kind of production tonight, especially with Taysom Hill out for the Saints. So I'm liking Alvin Kamara over 94.5 rushing yards. And this is where I made the mistake on this last leg. I went under 41.5. Now, the problem isn't that I went with the under. I'm okay with taking an under. I take unders all the time. But, Connor, what is the main reason why I like taking the first touchdown scored on these parlays?
Not sure. Oh, so you can find out if you're done within the first 5 minutes.
Exactly. So I know right away whether or not I have to watch the rest of this game. But by picking the under, I literally have to wait till the end of the game. So if that first touchdown scorer hits, I have no chance of cashing it early. I literally have to wait till the end of the game to find out if I'm making $3,000. A very brutal mistake on my part. And as soon as I submitted that bet, I was like, oh no, what did I do? I made such a huge mistake. But yeah, so that's the Hail Mary same game parlay of the day. Now I have the multi-sport Hail Mary parlay of the day. This one is more down your alley, Connor. It is $1, and it is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 legs.
12 legs. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oof. 12 legs. Let's go with 1,800.
It's close. $1 to win, $1,417.89. So you're in the ballpark. You're in the right area, and especially when you have the NHL ones in there, because you could get a money line at like minus 180, or you could get a money line at like plus 150. So you're all over the place in the NHL. But I'll start off there in the NHL. So I got the Columbus Blue Jackets money line versus the Dallas Stars. I got the New York Rangers money line versus the Calgary Flames. I got the Buffalo Sabres plus 1.5 versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Washington Capitals money line versus the Ottawa Senators. Carolina Hurricanes money line versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. And then the St. Louis Blues money line versus the Kings. And then the rest of these are in the NBA. Like I told Diz and you guys, I'm going Milwaukee Bucks, Indiana Pacers over 230. Miami Heat minus 13 versus the Orlando Magic. Chicago Bulls minus 2.5 versus the Toronto Raptors. Atlanta Hawks minus 10.5 versus the Detroit Pistons. Minnesota Timberwolves minus 5.5 versus the New Orleans Pelicans. And then finally, Portland Trailblazers plus 3 versus the Los Angeles Clippers. All right, Connor. Since it's just me and you, do you have anything you would like to get off your chest before we call it a night?
Yeah, I wanted to mention the Kraken. So they have the Canadians, I believe, next.
Yep.
Should win that game. It'll be their second home game. Canadians came out of nowhere and kicked the crap out of the Red Wings.
Yep.
But I see a very aggressive offense from the Kraken. I think Grubauer needs to step up a little bit. Otherwise, they are right there from getting a lot of these games. I'm excited to watch the Kraken. I want to see their first home win, and I love the blue jersey.
Oh my God, Connor! Breaking news on the pod. Breaking news on the pod. You are gonna flip your shit. Oh my God! Guess who the New York Jets just traded for to take over while Zach Wilson is out 2 to 4 weeks?
Take over. Did they get Tua?
Nope.
Did they get Hurts? Please take Hurts.
They got Flacco. They got your boy Flacco. No. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Breaking news on the pod. Joe Flacco is going back to the Jets away from the Eagles. I have no idea what package the Eagles got for Flacco. I imagine it's not very much. But does that mean it might be soon time for Minshew Mania in Philadelphia?
I would love for Minshew to start for us. Pretty much anybody but Jalen Hurts. As I mentioned to you this morning, I would rather us sign Trubisky and start him over Hurts. I do not want to see another down with Jalen Hurts.
Oof, man, what a mind blower! Just right as we were about to call it a night. Oh my gosh,
that is highly upsetting.
Oof. I'm trying to see what the line is for that Kraken game tomorrow. The Kraken are actually favored. I am so tempted to take the Canadians. Just because,
How dare you?
I know, but I'm hedging my happiness. I want the Kraken to win more than anything in the world. But gosh, man, I don't know. I can't trust that defense. I'm not even so concerned about Grubauer as much as our defense. It's like we're all about the forecheck. We're all about being aggressive, but then our defense just can't hold on to the puck. And if you lose the puck in your own end, it's going to result in goals. But we'll see. Hopefully the Kraken can pull it off tomorrow. Hopefully you're okay. I mean, we might have to keep an eye. I might have to call you like every hour on the hour tonight to make sure you're still okay after this Flacco news.
It'll be don't talk about the Eagles. I don't want to hear about the Eagles. Don't want to talk about it.
Okay, we're off the Eagles. Siriani needs to be gone. Maybe the GM needs to be gone because they just traded their best quarterback. I mean, I'm sorry.
I would rather them just take Hurts with them. We'll throw him in for free. Whatever they gave us, it'll be worth it. If you take Flacco, we will give you Hurts.
Package deal. Just take Hurts, please.
We don't even want anything in return. Just take Hurts out of here.
We will trade you Jalen Hurts for your washing machine. Would you please accept?
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. We really appreciate it. Remember to check us out on Twitter and Instagram at SportsBetByDumb. Also, on our Twitter now, you can watch us do this podcast live. If you're not wanting to wait around for the podcast to drop and you happen to be available at this time, feel free to watch us live on Twitter or on YouTube. Our link for our YouTube is in our Twitter bio. Unfortunately, we do not have that custom link yet. We need to get to 100 subscribers. So please, if you like the show, please go to our YouTube and subscribe. That helps us out a ton. And hopefully everyone has a profitable start to their week. And we will see you all on Thursday.